Hello, and welcome to this blend of a conscious channeling and a trance channeling into one, which does often happen here on this channel. Which, by the way, if you're new to this channel, hello, I am Bree. I am going to be our soul embodiment tune-in today. So the way that I'm transmitting this message, this video, is by tuning into the Akashic Records, where I can have a very high level scan of everyone that's going to be here. I'm not reading your name or where you are on planet Earth, although I do sometimes see that. Instead, I'm tuning into the predominating energy of the consciousness in the transmission from our higher self's perspective. So, and many times that's from a perspective that is new to us or feels new to us. But it's always a remembrance. And what the theme I want to dance around today is control. Control is something that I have been aware of as at play in my life for a very long time. I flagged and tagged that I was a neat freak or a control freak. Early on in life, I was aware of it. It was one of the things that I always had a self-check on. But in recent years, I've let go of levels of control that have freed me. I've come to realize that many of the things I did want to have control over were not up to me. I came to realize that a lot of the things I wanted to have control over were a distraction from what my soul wanted to embody and express. And I will link to My Rising Rose, a transmission that I took in this morning that really exposed myself to myself. And when I was receiving this transmission, which was from the crown chakra representative, the dragon that truly does permeate all of the chakra fields across all the cosmos. And this is something that I would welcome those of you who are ready to really deepen into your soul, into your eternal soul. It's time to start exploring how the dragons intermix with your chakras. It's time to explore how you move with your meditation practice. So it's time to explore movement, meditation, qigong, yoga. In my scanning of all of you now, most of you are already dabbling in these areas. However, what the guides are showing me is stagnancy. So if you have a yoga practice, a qigong practice, an exercise practice, a movement practice of any sort, and it's become stagnant for you, now is the time for you to turn into, can you welcome your guides into these practices? They're even showing me gyms. So some of you are visiting gyms. That's not my scene. But those of you that are visiting gyms or workout facilities, what the guides are feeding in here is, and it looks like we're going to get a lot of practical today. So basically I'm tuning into the guides and they're going to give us some loving support on our journey. So what the guides are sharing is, before you go and you exercise your body, you stretch your body, you do a practice that is for the care of and movement of your body, can you first sit and tune into the heart and just invite in a circle all around you your spiritual guides? Many of you don't know them yet. Can you call on your guardian angel? Can you call on the ancestral lines that many of you are receiving a deep gift awakening from at this time in your life? Some of you are connecting with star beings. Can you call on them and say, be with me, guide me, provide me love, show me how to move, help me move in a way that is in support of my highest ascension, my highest expression of my soul. And then they're sharing, watch how these movement practices transform. They're sharing with this full moon, the 13th of January, this full moon in Cancer. Is that correct? I'm channeling. Hopefully that's correct. This full moon it's inviting us to explore the emotional body. How does the emotional body overlay with your magic? In other words, what they're sharing is with the movement practices, for example. Some of you are thinking this is a place for you to detach from your mind or your emotions. What if they all come to the table? That's what they're sharing. They're also sharing, those of you that are working on the emotions, remember the emotions are deeply interlinked and overlaying the physical body. It's all involved. They're also showing me some of you need to pay attention to the hips in particular. Much fear, and they're sharing it pertains more to women, although it can pertain to men. But if you have resonance with the statement of emotional weight or bearing the emotional weight of others. So if you're caregivers in any way, shape, or form, this does not matter if you're a man or woman, but if you are feeling that you're bearing emotional weight of others, it is time for you to do some hip work. And they're sharing, I'm not going to do it right now, but when you're laying on your back and you have your knees up and then your feet on the ground, the very gentle moving the knees from side to side, that's really going to get into the part of the body that the guides are speaking about right now on the sides of the hips. And they're sharing that's going to really just help you to release. And then the same thing with the shoulders, very similar energy with the shoulders. So if you feel that you're bearing the weight of others, this can be felt in the upper back towards the shoulders. And the reason that they're highlighting this right now is because your guides are working with you right now in your energetic field. And what they want you to do is, this is all energy. So all this energy is mixing and overlaying. It's a holographic universe. So we're tuning in from, they're wanting me to bring through this cementing of your understanding of how this all works. So you have let's say your emotional body, your mental body, your energetic body, your light body, your physical body, they're all overlaying. I'm sure that there's many images you can look up to see this more if you're a visual person. But what they're sharing is each one has its perspective, right? So each one has its feel of the world around it and itself. So when it is helpful for us to go to, let's hop to the mental body. How do I see it, feel it, sense it from here? Hop to the emotional body. How do I see it, feel it, sense it from here? Hop to the physical body. And you're basically training yourself to come back to center through each one of these mechanisms, no matter which layer you're looking to perceive from. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you, guides. And they're sharing now that the guides that are predominating through me that are going to be taking over now. So if you're driving or operating machinery, this would be a time to pause the video, come back to it when you are able to ground your body. The first part is all, you could have taken that in completely consciously doing whatever. This is a new style of video for those of you that are used to being here. So settle in now to your body. We're going to get the full trance channeled message. This seems to be the 7 chakra dragons that have, what they're sharing is synchronized into my field so that they can all share as one. They're going to share in unison. They're also sharing a nod to, this is funny, to my rising rose. I was already connecting with these beings, but I am not a name person, me as Bree. And so when I came across Jack and he had the names, it was all the light language I had already been channeling. But I try not to get labely. That's what they're sharing with me. And you know what? I'm just going to drop in and let them synchronize this through. They're sharing to take a few deep breaths into the body while they attune me and us. 도스른 데렘 웅간 오늘이엠 논나 디엔난닝 돈난논님이 동님이 나는 we are tempering your fields to close up any leaks and permeate flow from your center. We have not channeled through Bree in this way for the public yet. So she is adapting to the frequency. We want to ask all of you as she adapts, how do you adapt? Do you feel how your body is changing its movements and flows when we are in your field? We're asking Bree now to open her eyes so that this can flow more fully to you. We, the dragons of the cosmic, we will allow Bree to keep her eyes closed. We move now deeper into the dragon ley lines. Many of you have been working with these. Thank you for your service. to the greater good of all. As you permeate these frequencies down into these grids, feel them. Do you feel how replenishing they are? Do you feel how rejuvenating they are? The flow, the fountain of this energy. We will not share many words today, but you will feel the energy if you intend to. Shunge. Imam. We are going to bridge the understandings that Brie experienced this morning about how she was filtering the flow of her own soul. She has recognized through mentors that she would like us to name Oliver Nino and My Rising Rose. She has been able to understand herself more fully through the reflections that she witnessed in these individuals. She's come to realize she does not have to have this certain appearance to be an energy healer, to be a channel, to be herself. She's come to realize that she oscillates with this greatly. There are times she feels very inspired towards the design of her appearance, and there are times where it does not interest her at all how she appears. And she's been deepening into her ability to recognize how her lenses are affecting her everyday life. A challenge she shows up to is when a message is present, she allows it in and shares it to whomever it will serve. But we bring through the message to you now that if you were to let go, of the way you perceive others are perceiving you, would you feel more free? If you were to let go of the opinions of others and how they may perceive you for doing what you are about to do, what is this really doing for you? We're helping now to calibrate your upper chakras to ensure that your authentic flow feels smooth in your body. Many of you had a rigidity towards your authentic expression. Let's consider that for a moment, shall we? Authentic flow and rigidity, do these seem to be able to exist at the same time? So when you release the rigidity to your authentic flow, it flows. Simple. It's plain. It's ordinary. Release yourself of the need to force anything in your life any longer. This may not be easy at first for you, but neither was walking or talking for some. Let's also recognize the diversity of planet Earth. To compare yourself to another is a waste and drain of your energy. If you sense others are comparing, is that up to you? Can you let that go as well? Many of you are in the world sharing healing gifts, and yet all you're talking about is the shadow of the world. Can you let that go? And recognize the shadow serves as well to highlight something, Can you release the need to label another as in their shadow? If you love this shadow, can it hurt you? On planet Earth, are you there to discern if it is light or shadow? Or is that like comparing day to night? They both serve a purpose. We, the dragons, will assist you to let go of your fear of the dark and your fear of death. Many of you perceive that if you stop fearing death, you will attract it. Is that really true? They're dropping me back in. And they're also echoing out a field of softening in the rear of the energetic field for us. They're just sharing. They'll help you disperse. They'll help you disperse. Dragons. Yeah. That was fun. I am trying to follow the middle way as much as possible, but I can't sugarcoat the fact that that was fun. The dragons are amazing. How do you feel them? Can you feel them? You do feel them, but what do you feel them as? Wow. That was very powerful stuff. A lot was releasing from what I'll share as I attune back and come back, land back. They were working a lot in the hips and the shoulders. I know they talked about it. Also, shout out to Jack of My Rising Rose and Oliver Nino. It really helped me. This is what I'll share just to close this out and really land it, which is, and I definitely resonate with this, but sometimes we can get this, we know that we're not here to have anyone give their power to us, right? And so that can create this dynamic where we can't actually receive from the individuals that are here anchoring codes that we were meant to receive. So just remember that all of our pillars of light matter. They're all important. And we hold the keys and codes for others, and we activate things in others that we came here to. And others can do that for us too. So it's not about I rely on someone else to give me these keys and codes, but also we want to consider paradox, and we need to consider the other polarity of that, which is, are there small ways that I am blocking my ability to receive from others? And this all ties into the theme, which is control. So we're really truly centering on our remembrance and our knowing that we do not control the behavior, the thoughts, the anything of anyone else outside of us. And when we let that go, it is freedom. Because how many times have you wanted to get someone to see your thinking or understand you? Or how many times have you tried to change the thinking of another? Does it work? It doesn't work because it's not up to us. Basically, our best option if we want to impact the field of our environment is by being the wellspring of love, wholeness, and authenticity ourselves. It's our only way to affect that. So even if we see someone outside of us with, maybe they're grappling with control, we have to remember that is still not up to us. And us pointing out that another may have an issue with control, are we really helping them in doing that? No. We're just helping ourselves best by how am I tuning into this? How do I relate to this? And if that's not getting you anywhere, then invite in the guides. Invite in the guides to simply highlight for you what you may have been blocking yourself from in the way of illusion or programming or limiting belief. So they'll help you to see those blind spots and assist you to fill in the gaps. And then the people we find in the world that we really resonate with on our journey, maybe certain people resonate for a little while and then we go to, and that's okay too. They're showing me too, like this, be free with yourself about your connections. In other words, if someone's expecting something of you that you're not ready to provide, it's okay to say, I'm not ready to provide this. And it's also okay to completely let go of expectations of others of us, because it's not up to us. We can't control what anyone else expects of us. So we need to let go of that too. So I hope that you felt the sort of holistic healing aspects of this transmission. I hope that you felt the dragons. I hope that you get involved in the comments. And the last thing I really want to plug here is my energy healing membership. If you're benefiting from all of this here, that is a beautiful way in the energy healing membership to keep a consistent, you're getting a healing every month. You're also getting 4 healings that are usually an hour and 20 minutes long a week. I call them an oracle read that I offer on TikTok currently, but soon that's going to be moving over to the energy healing membership. So it'll be Zoom, and it's going to be a beautiful way to keep that container really clean, because some of you that have been there on the TikTok, sometimes we get an occasional triggered soul in the space, and that kind of does distract from the flow of the message and the energy. So do take a look at that energy healing membership. It's $11 a month. So if you're not even sure, sign up and then cancel if you don't want to be in there. But there's a ton in there. And my intention is just to plug us all into our authentic expression, our soul. And once we get into that centered inner being and we're experiencing life from the soul, it becomes so much easier to manage the potential ego mind, things that may come up, always remembering and coding love into the ego too. The ego is this, what I'll call this field that allows us to know us from another on planet Earth. Also, paradox, it's oneness. But we're here to love on ourselves more fully. And I thank you for being here. Share this with someone you feel may benefit. Give a shout out to the dragons. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Closing this session out in love, intending that this only have the potential to serve in the very highest good of all. Everything I offer linked in the description. Let's take one deep breath together. Closing in love. Namaste.